on the page while we're recording.
Ooh, right.
A little festive.
It's
Oh,
a-
on the OBS.
Yeah. I tried to find somewhere that we're blinking and I couldn't find any.
The dog is going to go down and bark.
All right, I got everything. It's turned up and ready to go. Somebody got a doggy.
I know we're about to stifle him. He's 5 pounds of fury. His name is Nugget. He's very cute.
Well, usually towards the end of the show, my cat likes to jump on the back of my chair. So
Oh,
you
great.
might
This is
see
going to
him.
be one of those shows where we get to show our pets at the end. I'm
Yeah.
excited about that.
Absolutely. Why not?
My cat, he loves the camera, so he'll want to jump in here.
What kind of cat do you have?
I have a black cat that he's a bobtail. His name is Bubby. And,
Bubby the bobtail.
Yeah, and I have another cat who she was a feral, and then I tamed her, and now she won't leave me alone. And her name's Lizzie, and
Isn't that
short for
cute?
Lizzie Borden because she's a psychopath.
That is funny.
All right, well, I'm pretty much ready to start the show if you guys are.
I'm cool.
All right, and
Yeah.
and we are on Zoom meeting, and so we only have about 40 minutes from the start of the call. So
Oh, okay, cool.
once we hit about the 30-minute mark, we'll start to wrap up.
Yeah, good to know that.
All right, well, let's get this thing started. Jacob, you want to do the Patreon read at the beginning?
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, and you guys might not hear the music. For some reason, my soundboard isn't going through like it's supposed to. So
Yeah. We never hear the music on our
really,
end.
I don't know why it's not
It's
working.
been like that for 30 episodes.
I don't know why it's not working, but you'll hear. I guess you'll hear silence for a bit, and we'll go.
Okay.
Into it. All right. Well, I'll give you the countdown, Jacob, and then
All
we
right.
can start. All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, welcome to another Thursday edition of Open Micers. Do you like our show? You must. You're listening to it right now. Do you like it when we talk to fabulous people like our guest tonight? Of course you do. Would you like it if we kept doing it? Well, why not? But what you have to do is please give us money at patreon.com. We are OM Podcast on Patreon. That's patreon.com/OM Podcast. And please, if you can't give us a few dollars, give us a review wherever podcasts are given away for free.
Oh, that music means it is Thursday night, and it is time for Open Micers Podcast. My name is Jason Robbins.
I'm the better half, Jacob Craig, and our guest tonight is actress, comedian, director, producer, author. Maybe we'll find something that she can't do in our interview. I don't know, but it's Miss Wendy Stuart Kaplan. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, really great to be here tonight. That's a lot of titles.
Yeah.
It is. You're the one who accumulated them. I mean,
Okay, this is true. Those are very big shoes to fill, and you know what? I am the person to fill them. So thank you so much for having me here tonight. You guys
It's
are great.
crazy. Like the last, as this show goes on, we keep getting more and more people that have each week their bio gets bigger and bigger, and it's. I was
Yeah.
looking at yours the other night, and I was telling my another co-host on another show I do. I was like, reading your bio is like it's like War and Peace. You've done so much stuff. I don't even know where to start.
I love that. I love that you looked at it like War and Peace. Well, listen, it even got bigger during the pandemic, if you can believe it.
Well,
'Cause when
that's
you-
actually. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was something I'm
No,
really
go on.
excited to talk about. What is pandemic cooking with Wendy? I want to
No,
know about this.
So glad you asked. Well, they shut New York down on March 12th. And you named all the things I do. I'm an entertainer. I'm a model. I'm an actress. I do hosting. I write. I make films. I do all of those things. And March 12th, that all came to a screeching halt.
We
Like
feel
no
you.
prep, no nothing. They never really told us what it meant when we were going to go to the top of this curve in New York. Because come on, Jason, all people like us know about with curves was when we were in geometry class, right? That's it, right, you guys?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all we knew about curves. So they never said exactly what it was. So March 12th, they shut New York down. And March 13th, it occurred to me my entire existence, everything I've spent decades building, just went away.
Yep.
I had a lot of friends that were like, oh, yeah, I'm getting paid to work from home. But you know what? Performers, that was not the truth for most of us.
Yeah.
So March 12th, they shut New York down. March 13th, I stood in the kitchen, my little New York kitchen with my husband. And I'm like, we are so screwed. What are we going to do? Because he's a cinematographer. And and I looked at him. I said, we'll do a show. We'll do a cooking show. And he said, Wendy, you don't cook. I said, exactly. This is so that's the day, March 13th, Pandemic Cooking with Wendy was born. And the beauty of the show, you guys, is I am using everything that I used in my other life, right? The costumes from performing, the hair pieces, the comedy. The one new thing that I've thrown in now is the cooking.
Mhm.
And boy, is it new. Listen, I live in New York, right? We dial for, well, as we used to say, we dial for our food. Now we go online for our food, but you can get takeout here 24/7. And I'm a busy gal. Why the heck am I going to be cooking? However, all of a sudden, I decided that would be a really great, fun hook. And I was going to learn to cook. And the first thing I did is I ordered one of those. They have these meals, that come with a recipe and
Yeah,
everything.
I actually did that for a while. I had the
You did
blue apron that I did
I,
for a
Blue
while.
Apron,
Mhm.
yeah. That was great. You probably made a really good meal with Blue Apron.
Yeah, it makes it's almost like you can actually cook.
Didn't that make you feel good about yourself? You were empowered.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
So
episode of Open Micers is brought to you by Blue Apron.
I wish.
there you go. We love our plugs. Well, I didn't use Blue Apron. I called up Fresh Direct,
Hmm.
and I had a bunch of food delivered to my house. And they have these meals that come in a big box, and it comes with a recipe, and you cook everything yourself. So I ordered a dish called spatchcock chicken. I had no idea what a spatchcock chicken was, to tell you the
It,
God's honest
wait
truth.
a minute. What's it called?
A spatchcock.
What
It's
the
so
hell is a
weird. I still can't
spatchcock?
say it.
Spatchcock.
Spatchcock chicken. It's spelled SPATCHCOCK. And what a spatchcock chicken is, as I so learned from the comments on my page, is when they take and split a chicken in half. So the chicken comes to you in its spread eagle. Okay.
I love a good spread eagle spatchcock.
There you go. Right now, you guys, you got the picture of this chicken. And it came in a box with vegetables that were raw, and then they came with what I thought were new potatoes. So yeah, I start talking about what I'm going to do, and I put the thing in a pan and stick it in the oven and all of that, and I let it cook. And of course, while it's cooking, I engage my audience in banter, right? Because that's what it's all about, talking about the pandemic, talking about why I'm doing a cooking show. And then it was all ready to come out, and I start describing the meal, and I didn't understand why the potatoes were so hard. They had been in the oven for 45 minutes. Finally, thank God, you guys, we have to love our audiences. Somebody wrote in and said, Wendy, those are chestnuts.
Oh.
Was calling them
Wow.
new potatoes, if you can believe that. So I started out in that first show. I was just like normal, the way I look when I do commercials and stuff. But I thought to myself, heck, this is my show. I can do anything I want. I love going out in costume. So every week my episodes are short. They're 3 to 5 minutes.
Hmm.
So every week I would do 5 episodes in whatever character I was. I was a fairy. I was the best character I love was Pandemic Pam, the flight attendant. I I took my watchers on Pandemic Airlines, and I even served up and have a whole flight attendant outfit. One of those real cheesy ones that you get at Party City.
Hmm.
There you go. I hold that baby out of the closet, and I had the whole uniform. And I was able to bring my people to India on that trip, and we served up, of course, food that came from that country.
That's
So this
cool.
really right, it's cool. It really gave me a chance to be super creative. In my real life, I work with scripts if I have to,
Mhm.
but I am not about a script. I'm about saying whatever comes into my head. And here we were on pandemic cooking, and believe me, I talked about it, everything and anything, and the feedback was absolutely incredible.
Is that something you're gonna continue doing after the pandemic's over with?
I really launched myself as a personality, definitely from that. I've been on, yeah, I'm everywhere. And that show really launched it. I mean, I've always worked, but it's a personality driven show. And it's not a show, nobody can duplicate that.
Mhm.
No one is going to be this crazy New York person in costume and in wigs that, gets on and cooks different stuff from all over the world. Now, people ask me, have you learned to cook from this show? Yeah, I guess I hate admitting it, but you got me right there. I've actually learned to cook, and you know what? I really am enjoying it. But what I really enjoy, I enjoy getting dressed up in costumes. How cool is this? In your own home, right? You get to be whatever fantasy character you want to be. Who gets to do that? So I took the opportunity, right, of this pandemic, and I came out with, now I'm up to 89 episodes.
Wow.
Wow.
Right.
Already?
And already. And this summer, when our numbers were down, I actually cooked with people. I went to their place. I had somebody come here because things had gotten a lot safer in New York, and our numbers were down in New York and in New York State. Now, of course, it's bad.
Mhm.
So Wendy will be back in her kitchen by her lonesome, creating her fabulous creation. So yeah, you got to tune in and watch the show. Please do.
Absolutely will.
Oh, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would just love that.
Okay,
And
I'll
that,
I'll put a link to it in the show
yeah,
notes for you.
yeah, Wendy Stuart TV. Real easy, right?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it's always
So then
good.
Absolutely.
from all of this, I started getting called for podcasts and radio shows and all kinds of things. And then, of course, I started to become the poster girl for COVID because I got sick the second week of March. So do the timeline. I start the cooking show, and like 3 days later, I'm not feeling so great. My husband is falling into sleep in the chair every 2 hours, and my daughter is like, I feel weird. And I call up, they gave you those 800 numbers to call to find out. And I called three of them, and they all told me the same thing. Oh, sounds like you have a sinus infection. But I knew this wasn't a sinus infection. It was too weird. And
Yeah.
this is the best part, totally lost my smell and taste. And guess what? I didn't miss one episode of that cooking show. And I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want them to doubt my recipes, right? Like,
How long
food
did it
is,
take for your sense of taste to come back?
oh, this, you're not gonna like the answer to that, Jason. It came back totally a month ago, and I got sick the middle of March. Yeah.
Goodness.
Wow.
No smell, no taste. Gradually, it was coming back, but I'm in an international group of people that lost their smell and taste from all over the world. A lot of people have not gotten their smell or taste back, which is
Wow.
crazy. But
Yeah.
people that got COVID in April and May, this is encouraging. They lost their smell and taste maybe for a week, but they got theirs back. So, like everything else, everyone's studying it. I mean, who the heck knows? What part of the country are you guys in anyway?
We are on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi.
Oh, you're in
Yes.
Mississippi. Oh, cool. Cool. I worked with somebody else in Mississippi there too. They had just opened up the bar that she was working at. Everything was opening up in Mississippi. What's
Mhm.
it like there now?
It's the numbers are getting rough again, so
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, the
probably
numbers are
looking.
on the rise.
We our governor's probably not gonna lock us down again, but I don't know what they're gonna do because it's getting crazy.
Well, I would anticipate another lockdown after January,
After
in all
January,
honesty.
Yeah.
you think so? I think maybe
I
in New
think
York
so.
it might happen before January. I don't know, but you know what? I'm having my last hurrah. My friends have a restaurant. It's called Pangaea on the Lower East Side. And Saturday night, I have a small group of people. We've been hanging out together through the whole pandemic, and
Mhm.
we're all cool around each other. And we're going to go there and have a Christmas dinner because we all have to remember it's Christmas,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Gotta
Absolutely.
get out there and celebrate. Which brings me to my question: do you all have your trees yet? Is your tree up?
Oh yeah, my tree was up like the first week of November.
My tree's still
Oh,
not up yet.
I knew from the look on your face that your tree wasn't up yet. Do you
Nope.
wait till the last minute or?
Usually not, but I mean, I've been so busy. Like my girlfriend's tree has been up since November, or since right after Halloween. She put her Christmas tree right up, and I don't know. We just haven't done it.
Jacob doesn't care about
one.
Jacob doesn't care about trees. All he cares about is the food. Just bring the food.
Hey, I have to go on a diet now because my cholesterol's high.
Hey,
so I have to be. Yeah.
Welcome to the club. I just got put on cholesterol medication.
Okay, so y'all both, you need to have oatmeal. You know that.
I know.
Yeah. I'm having grilled chicken tonight for dinner, and the rest of my family's having fried steak. So I really want to punch a fucking wall.
Well, listen, you know what? You don't have to have grilled chicken. You can have spatchcock chicken.
There you go. Once someone spatches my cock, I'll put a ring on it.
There you go. You can have that chicken, and they'll all look at you with envy. No, but you can get away from the high cholesterol if you have oatmeal, and that's a good way to start your day. You know.
Yeah,
and,
I bought a big tube of it the other day, so I'm ready to
go. You bought a tube of oatmeal?
Yeah.
Tube of oatmeal. That's so appetizing. I can't even begin to tell.
What do you put it on your toothbrush every morning?
No, it's like a big tube. It's like, like that big around, like that tall. It's like a big gallon bucket of
you put
oatmeal.
like a bucket of oatmeal.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so unappetizing. I can't even begin to tell you.
That sounds disgusting.
So
I'm doing a slow cooker.
Did you all get a chance to look at my book? But you probably know about my book anyway.
Yes, I do. Your memoir.
Yeah, it's my memoir called She's the Last Model Standing. So I've been modeling, acting, and doing all this stuff for decades. And I decided to write a book about all the crazy experiences I had coming to New York in the late 70s and what it was like, you know, the people I met. Like everybody was here then. It was a totally different time. And I was a big Studio 54 person. I loved yeah, it was really, really unbelievable.
I bet there's some stories you have from that.
Oh my gosh. I love telling the one about, you know, being discovered by Andy Warhol in the VIP room one night. And he was talking with me and he offered me a role in his movie that he was doing with Joe D'Alessandro. You probably don't know who Joe D'Alessandro is, but he was a huge stud back in the days. He was in all of Andy's films, and I had seen a couple of Andy's films. There was one called Empire where he just put the camera on a face and the whole film was like 3 hours long and the camera never moved. So that's what I knew about Andy, and he offered me a part in this film, and that was like really exciting. So I made the telltale mistake that you always make when you're young, naive, and trying to pay your bills. And I said, "How much am I getting paid?" And he said, "Well, I'll give you a painting." And I said, "Oh, a painting. Well, I couldn't possibly be in your film. I'm so sorry, but I need to make money." And the rest is history.
That painting would have been worth a lot of money.
Well, we know that, but let's not cry over spilt paintings, Jason. You know, life goes on, and that's really what my book is about. You know, overcoming like the odds of struggling, living in New York, coming from the Bronx, and just making a way for myself here. And it shows that it can be done. And my book is meant to inspire people. And as the book unfolds, it shows how I went from modeling into acting. And oh my God, I was the queen of beauty pageants, the queen of hokey beauty pageants. I was in the Miss Bikini pageant in Caracas, Venezuela. And I represented Switzerland. And I do not have 1 ounce of Switzerland.
Wow.
Did you just walk in and they put a sticker on you that says Switzerland?
I had the whole banner, no stickers. This is oh my gosh, this pageant. The way it happened was I was with a model agency up here in New York, and I came in on what they call a casting or a go-see. And the person that ran the agency said, "Look, you know, we need 12 girls, and we're going to be sending you to Caracas, Venezuela for a beauty pageant." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is like amazing." So she said, "Go in and meet the guy and talk to him, and you know he's going to pick who he wants." So I was one of the ones that he picked, and there were 12 of us. So he went through the final group of girls, and he got to me, and he said, "So you're going to be from Switzerland?"
Do you even speak Swedish?
Oh, please. I was like, Switzerland. And he said, yes. And he said, we'll write up a whole little speech for you to say because it's going to be televised. He said, you'll say it in English. No one will even understand what you're talking about. And it's the speech is going to talk about how your parents are both doctors and you grew up in Geneva. Oh, the lies just got worse and worse. But it was the hustle, and I really wanted to go to Venezuela. So the rest is history. We all went down there, and we were very doubtful, right? Because this is pretty hokey to begin with, giving all these girls countries to be from. But we got down there, and they put us up at a five-star hotel, the Tamanaka Hotel. And then, like, what I thought was going to be a little, tiny little television station, it turned out to be this mega. It was as big as any beauty pageant that we did here. And I would have my sash on, and people would yell out, Suiza, Suiza. That's Spanish for Swiss. I can
Wow.
still hear it. And they told us we were going to have to rehearse with this very famous singer. And we met him at the pool at the Tamanako one day. So very good looking, but overly tan, tiny little bathing suit on, very bright white, obviously not real teeth, but extremely good looking guy. Very nice. And it was like, who the hell is he? None of us knew. And they said, we'd like to introduce you girls to Julio Iglesias. And again, I said, who the hell is he? Because he hadn't crossed over into this country yet. And
wow.
his music was only known in South America. So we rehearsed and rehearsed with Julio, fantastic host on the show. And the rest is history. 1 year later, he did, his crossover song, which I don't remember what it was. And I should know that song. And we got to be on TV with him. And then, of course, his son, Enrico Iglesias, is equally as famous. So you see, I tell people, you got to take risks in life. You can't always keep yourself comfortable, because the more risks you take, the more cool experiences you'll have. And what are we if we don't have our experiences, right, guys?
Absolutely.
That's the thing. You don't know where life is going to take you when you just say yes to things.
Isn't that great?
It's great. Same thing with like the comedy. I didn't know that comedy was gonna do some of the things it's done for me. Even podcasting. Podcasting led me to making movies and stuff with people I never thought I would be able to make movies with. And it's just weird when you put yourself out there. It's kind of like the
Right.
universe lines itself up to make things happen for you.
And I can tell you why that happens, Jason, because all of a sudden the fear goes away, the boundaries go away, and you're just out there and you're allowing things to happen.
Yeah.
And as you know, sometimes it can go the other way, it can go bad. But guess what? If you learn from that experience and you take it with you on your next one, you are absolutely golden. I feel like you did. I never did podcasting. I now have three shows. I have Pandemic Cooking with Wendy, which is my comedy show and cooking. Comedy first, cooking second. And then I work a lot with the LGBTQ community, have for years, and helped start an LGBTQ organization in the house and the place where I have my weekend house. And that is called Triversity. And we started a show called Triversity Talk. And I bring on incredible people from the LGBTQ community, from entertainment, politics, you name it. A lot of people that you've heard of from everywhere, because right now you can bring in people from everywhere.
Right.
And it's become such a great show. And then I just started 3 weeks ago a brand new show in New York, and we're doing that one on location at a restaurant called Pangaea, which is really incredible food, but known for the artists that perform there. It's a Lower East Side place. So cool. And that show is called If These Walls Could Talk. And we've now broadcast 3 episodes of that and just moving right along. So this pandemic for me has created so many opportunities that, honest to God, if things were the way they were, I don't know, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's what you make of it. A lot of people just kind of shelled up and didn't do anything. And some people just started doing stuff. And it's like this show for us. We, because the pandemic hit and all the jobs we had lined up, me and Jacob both, we were touring. We were going all around the South here, and I had some stuff I was going to do in Arizona, some tour stuff out there. But once the pandemic hit, it all dried up. So we had to do something to keep ourselves sharp. So
Right.
we
So you
decided to
just
start a
started doing
podcast.
this because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Which
Well,
I had the idea for a while, but it took a whole pandemic
Yeah.
for our lazy asses to actually do the show.
listen, I know your ass is lazy. You don't have a tree up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, that's true. You know what? I'll put up my tree tonight. How about that?
There
I'll
you
put up
go.
my tree after we get done wrapping. I need
Pick-
to
A
work
little,
out anyways.
a
Pictures
little.
or it didn't
Cholesterol's
happen.
high.
That is
Pictures.
All right.
I need
funny.
pictures. I need
All
pictures.
right. I'll send you pictures of my tree. God damn it.
And I
Me
don't want
too.
I don't want pictures of your flesh tree either.
Hey, I'll
Real.
put an ornament on it for you, and a nice little angel on top.
No.
It's not big enough for that. But so Wendy,
There
do
you
you
go.
do you have like a background in improv or stand up or anything?
Yes,
That's like
of course I do. So like you guys mentioned touring and stuff like that. I knew early on. So I did the comic strip in New York, the duplex in New York, a ton of other places. Stand up for me, the bad thing about being female and doing stand up, you get put on at 2 o'clock in the morning, and these guys are really drunk. And I just, it was like, instead of, trying to do my set, I really wanted to just say, you know what, jerk, screw you, get out of here. And I realized I didn't have, or didn't want to have the skin for that. But I never stopped doing stand up because I took it to corporate clients that hired me to do roasts, where you have, corporate clients where everyone is, pretty well behaved and they're not looking for tit jokes, and you get to write your set about what they're interested in. I also have a huge background in improv, so I've used that. And right now, ironically enough, everything I'm using is stand up and improv. And that even happened prior to the pandemic. Last January 24th, one of the things I started doing, because my name is very well known out there, I had started getting the opportunity to MC at clubs and throw big events. And in January 24th was going to be my birthday. And I thought, well, what could be better? I produced 2 shows with comedians, singers, strippers, you name it. I had them on that stage. 2 shows. I emceed the whole thing, of course, in between. As you said, stand up. Yeah, it gave me a great chance to do my stand up. But because it was my show, it was a whole different thing than going into a club
Yeah.
and trying to get people, trying to get their
See,
approval.
that seems weird to me that it would be that way, especially in New York. A female comedian being put on early in the morning or late. Like down here, when we do open mics and shows and things like that, it's pretty much first come, first serve. There's a list. You sign up, and wherever you are on the list, that's when you go up. So if you want to go on early,
That's on an open mic, right? On an open
yeah,
mic. But
yeah,
if
but
if it's not an open mic and there's someone's producing it, you get your slot.
yeah,
And
right.
that for me is definitely not my cup of tea. I'm definitely a free spirit. And I've taken the stand up now. I'm doing it and people's comedy shows on Zoom. My friend Icavelli, who's a comedian, does a show called 50 Shades of Gay. And we have he's so funny. And I'm of course on that show. We have our 50 Shades of Gay comedy special, which you can access on pay-per-view. And I put together a comedic piece in that, of course. But again, there's no pressure on me. And I am not a technical person, but I've taken to Zoom and all of this virtual reality stuff like a duck to water. Not everybody can connect on it. For whatever reason, I can totally connect. I think I completely get off on the fact that still, even now, I'm sitting here in my couch in New York and you're in Mississippi. And I just say to myself, how cool is that?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. I mean I've done Zoom shows where have been hosted in Tallahassee, Florida. I did one that was a competition that was hosted in Cleveland,
Wow.
and I did one most recently. I headlined a Zoom show based in the UK. So
cool.
yeah, I mean it's the kind of thing that if you're a comedian and you understand how to traverse the new world that we're in with online, and you know how to brand yourself, you can absolutely get incredible stories at the very least.
Oh, the UK now in your real life before this, who was going to fly you to the UK? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody.
And it's a whole different brand of audience there. What
Mhm.
an admit, I'm like listening to you talk about that. I can only say what an incredible opportunity, really.
Yeah.
It was. I got called a twat. It was amazing. I'd never been called a twat before,
That's
unironically.
fantastic.
They must
That's-
Yeah.
use that in the UK a lot.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
say it with an English accent.
Well, it was in the Facebook comments. I could see the comments scrolling while I was performing because I didn't have any feedback or anything. Someone called me a twat, and I was like, "Oh, they don't like that stuff. Let me go do this now."
Just try something else.
Well,
That is so cool.
Well,
So
Wendy,
you get my point.
we've only got
Yes,
a few minutes
absolutely.
left on the Zoom call. This went by really, really fast, and and like always with our guests, we don't even get to like a quarter of what we want to talk about. So
Mhm.
Oh, quick!
Gotta
ask me
have you-
anything. You ask me and I talk quick. Tell me what you want to know.
well, let's see. So your book, you can go to wendystuarttv.com to
That's
pick
my
it up.
website, but you can also get my book. My book is on Amazon. So the book is She's the Last Model Standing. Really fun read. It makes a great Christmas gift, everybody.
Oh, stocking
Yes.
stuffer.
Yeah, whatever holiday. She's the Last Model Standing, and it's available on Amazon. We've got my YouTube channel. Please, you guys are going to subscribe to it, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
Well, thank you so much. It's Wendy Stuart TV. And all of my pandemic cooking shows are on there, 89 episodes. Tomorrow will be 90. And then it's got my podcasts, my other shows are on there as well. So it's a lot of stuff about me. My website is www.wendystuarttv as well. You can reach out and friend me on Instagram. She's the Last Model Standing on Instagram and on Facebook. I am Wendy Stuart, Stuart, and you can find me there as well. Did I leave anything out? I don't.
You have a Twitter as well at
I
Last
do.
Model
Oh, but
Standing.
you nailed me on that Twitter account. You know what? There in these platforms, there's certain platforms people can't connect to. I don't know what it is with me and Twitter. I will retweet other people's things. I do that a lot, but I just don't. I don't know. I'm not motivated. Jason, help me out here.
The thing about Twitter is you just have to like just interact with people. Like I've been on there for 11 years now.
Oh,
and
you're
I'm
hardcore.
just now got over 900 followers, and that's
Right.
taken me 10 years to do.
Yeah.
Well, considering the first 3 or 4 years I was on it, I didn't do anything with it. So I'd say roughly
Yeah.
6 or 7 years. It's taken
Also,
me
you're
to
not
get-
really popular. So.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, come on. You're a great guy. I'm sure you're popular. But like to me, it's so much easier. I've got a ton of people that follow me on Instagram and a whole bunch on Facebook. So by the time I get to Twitter, I almost said quitter.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get followers on Instagram and Facebook than it is on
And
Twitter.
it's visual to Twitter is like, oh, who cares?
You just
what
have
you say.
Twitter's just work, is what it is. It's just work.
Yeah, it totally is. So those are all my handles. And I wanted to show you my Chihuahua Nugget. Is Nugget
Yes,
around?
please.
Nugget.
I don't know
you
where
tell
my
me.
kitty is. He's not
tell
around
me your
right now.
cat. I like this. You should do this at every show, like in the very end. Have like
We should.
It's
Yeah.
a great idea.
We have enough we have enough pet bombs, I guess,
Yeah.
that come in that we can make it a regular thing.
I'm
Oh,
kinda
he's gonna play hard.
disappointed.
You do have, yeah, of course. Now Nugget is like,
Yeah.
can you have him, Alan? No, he went under the chair. He's really cute too. I love showing him off. I have a parrot, but she's in the other room. She would have been on here in a heartbeat. She goes to Zoom meetings now with my daughter.
That's awesome.
My daughter's been living at home since the pandemic, and she works from home. So the bird attends Zoom meetings. I mean, come on, that's about as good as it gets.
Well, can I rent your bird to come do some Zoom meetings I
Yeah.
don't really want to do? Because that's a good thing I need.
I should have had the bird here tonight. She would have like appreciated the whole evening.
Yeah.
She bobbed her head up and down.
Well,
Well, I had a
Wendy,
blast, you guys.
it's been absolute blast meeting you, and we definitely want to have you back on again because we want to, there's a lot more stuff we want to cover.
Cool.
So, and the coming year we'll have you booked again and come back on the show and we'll talk again.
That'll be great. And who knows? Maybe one day when this is all past us and we're all living large, maybe I'll come on in person.
Yes.
Maybe.
And I will
Right.
actually, I had planned on going up to New York and actually in 2 weeks for my Christmas vacation, but because I got some friends that live up there. But of
Ah,
course, the pandemic like changed all that. So
right. But you know what, Jason? I tell people I've met so many great people doing this. You can totally hit me up. I'm a New York girl. I love showing people around, and I love going to bars.
I will
So
definitely do that.
definitely do that.
Absolutely.
Believe me, there is a light on the horizon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
All right. Well, if you would like to, thank you again. You've been great. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show. Jacob, anything you want to throw out there before we go?
No.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to email us, you can email us at openmikerspodcast@gmail.com. We are at openmikers on Twitter and Facebook. And also, support us. Give us money so we can keep the lights on here at patreon.com/ompodcast, where you'll get extra shows every month. And patrons get early access to the episodes. So if you want that, go give us some money. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
That was a fun show. I'm gonna go
But that
ahead
was
and
great, you guys.
kill the
I really
feed.
had a blast.
We'll see you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for
We
hanging
had a
out. We'll
blast
see
having
you.